Ladies and gentlemen, this is my interview with Tmstry.
All right, everybody. I want to welcome to the Dick Buntons interviews a fellow AI music enthusiast that I met through the AI Music Society, the one, the only, Tmstry. How you doing, sir?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm great.
So the first
Happy to
question
be
I
here.
always like to ask when I get an AI music creator on, how did you start your journey with AI music? I mean, how did you find it? Was it a lark or were you always musical? How did you get here?
I've been musical for a very long time. I just recently joined the AI music stuff like a year and a half ago, like early 2024, 25, the early 2025. But I've been very musical for my whole life, well, from my childhood. Yeah, done a lot of things. Yeah.
So
Um,
so what was your first tool that you stumbled upon? Was it Suno like everybody else, or was it something else?
Strictly AI speaking, it was Sunov, the first tool that I came across. But I've been doing a lot of production work and making music long before. Like I think I started my very first release on Spotify was in 2013, I believe.
Wow.
A couple of years before that, I did a production course, 6 months, very intensive, very expensive, working with a DAW with Logic Pro, and so that those were the tools that I was using before. So and then I took a rather long break, becoming a dad and having children and all that stuff. So and then yeah, the end of 2004, I believe, stumbled across Suno, and that's how the ball started rolling again. Yeah,
So that's an interesting, segue because you were in using I hate using the word real music because that sort of lessens AI, but you know what I mean. You were using
yeah,
practical musical tools, and I always find it interesting. So, obviously, you have no issue with AI. I mean, there are musicians who say AI is stupid, it's sucking the creativity out of everything, but apparently you found the value in it, right?
yeah. And I wouldn't call myself like even before AI came along and with Suno and everything. I wouldn't even call myself a musician that much. I did a producer course and I made a lot of electronic music with a MIDI keyboard and with the DAW. So I always called myself a producer, more or less. So of course,
Yeah, and that's what I really call when I got into Suno, you really are a producer at that point. I mean, you
yeah,
there is creativity because 'cause you're writing the lyrics, right? If you do that, I write my own lyrics. You're coming up with the idea, but really, you're telling the software what you want it to sound like, what vision you have for the song. So in sense, you're less of an artist, more of a producer, I think anyway.
exactly. And that's how I look at it the same way. It's like an extension of from what I've learned earlier in the production course and due to experience. It's just like an extension. I've been using the DAW and the MIDI keyboard and software since, and trying to come up with ideas and melodies, bass lines, and all that stuff. And then Suho came and I just saw it as an extension, really, like putting in small stuff, like small samples of stuff that I created in the past. So I
Mhm.
rather see it as an extension. Yeah, yeah,
Where do you get your ideas from? Now, I know from watching your stuff, I mean, there's a lot of family-centric stuff because, being a dad now, that's part of you, so you've incorporated that into your stuff, which I think is great. But when you have an idea, a genesis of a thought, how long does it take from that first initial thought to getting it to a full-fledged video?
oh, it could take a long time because very recently have been piling up a lot of projects, ideas, I would say. Um, it can take quite some time. I usually and all those ideas like come across on strangest places in the shower or whatever, you know. That's how usually the ideas come, and I try to write them down, and it takes quite a long process. I would even say like. But like what I usually like to do with all my ideas or project is it's a story. You got to tell a story, so it's
Yeah.
got to take some time to get there. You know, to write down not even just the lyrics yet, but to have a premise and where you want to go, if there's a message in it or not. So it can take quite some time. Like you just mentioned, stuff that I recently did with my family or with my kids, the Minecraft video that I did recently
Yeah.
this weekend. Uh, that idea, ever since the inception or how it came into my head, was like two months ago maybe. So it can take quite some time to get there. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, your stuff is really good, and I enjoy watching it. And it's fun because you and I are about the same time in the AI music scene, about a year and a half for me. I think the community that we're in, specifically the AI Music Society, I think it's a valuable tool for what we do. I think. I mean,
yeah.
the collabs that you have worked on, I mean, you never would have found those people if it wasn't for the community, right?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, definitely. I remember I was just thinking about it before the interview, like catching up on all the stuff that I did. It's like the very first collab that I did was like after a few months, and I reached out myself to the first one. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, Bunny and Delicious. Um, and that's just like you said. That's the great use and of the community is that, but you just have to take the step and
Yeah.
just go for it. In the beginning, I was like a bit hesitant, and I'm usually more of a little bit shy guy or introvert, and I have some insecurities about the stuff that I do. So even doing that first step of like just messaging somebody and just going for it was a bit difficult, but just I mean it's great. I mean the community, just you just have to go for it. I mean
Yeah,
that's the beauty
the
of it.
community's great. I mean, I like working with Bunny. He is fantastic. We've done several things together. I've worked with Mellow Delight. I've worked with PJ. Phoenix has done some stuff for me. Yeah, how could I forget Alice, Alice Tanner? We've done 3 collabs together. And unfortunately for me, my video and music stuff has slowed down a bit because of this podcast. So, the podcast is starting to catch on, and I mean, I have 2 more interviews today that I'm doing. I actually took off from work today.
Oh,
So,
okay.
it's okay. Everything has its ebb and flow, and I'll get back to the music when I get back to it. But for me, of late, I don't know about you, the when I was doing music and videos, the video is what slowed me down because the creation of that video, I think almost more than 50% important to the song.
Well, for me, it's and this might be surprising, but it's for me it's the other way around. The video part, which is for me the last part, the editing altogether, that usually goes pretty quickly. As soon as I
Really?
have the yeah, as soon as I have the Suno version ready, it's mastered. I have two workflows nowadays. I used to be known for using stock footage, and now I'm going a little bit towards AI creation. But either way, once I have those images or clips ready, I can like edit it in probably a few hours, maybe. And
What? Oh my
yeah,
god. Then maybe I'm doing something wrong because the
no,
last the Doctor No video that I did, the tribute one,
yeah, yeah,
that
that
took
was
me at
awesome.
least 4 days to do, and only because
Yeah,
I think I'm my biggest critic. Like, I would generate something, and then I didn't like the way it looked, and when you use AI, you fix one thing, something else goes crazy,
yeah,
and then,
yeah.
but I will say I'm using Google Veo or Veo, however you say it, but the new Seed Dance, I think that's where it's at. Like, I saw stuff that Seed Dance does, and it's gonna be too easy now. Now it is now we're not even gonna go, "Ooh, wow, look what that guy did." I think Seed Dance is way more advanced.
Yeah, it is. Ever since I started like a month ago, I just took a subscription on OpenArt and started experimenting basically because I had no experience. But yeah, sea dance is wild, and that's
Now, is it
from the
expensive?
little. Well, it's confusing. Like it could be expensive, and when I go onto the platform OpenArt, in my experience, I don't know how they do it, or it's basically it looks like a scam. But if you like use 15 seconds and you put it on the highest quality, you get you they need like 3K of credits, 3,000 credits. But if you put it on lowest quality, 15 seconds, and then you just try to upscale it to like say 1080p or 4K, they just need like 600 or 700 credits. And to me, if I compare the image looks the same. So, um,
Mm.
but I forgot where I was going with the question.
Expensive. I wanna know you said it was
If
a
it,
s
yeah, so it could be expensive, and but it all depends on how you prompt it, I guess. And in my experience, since I have only just started out prompting and doing video generation, it can add up quite some credits. Yeah, but it's
yeah,
it's totally worth it.
and to me, it's almost like a double-edged sword at this point with the technology getting so good. Like, in the beginning, when I was making videos and everyone else in the community was making videos, when someone did something stellar and the tools weren't as good as they are now, you're like, "Wow, that is impressive." Now, this is a valid question to ask. If Seed Dance and other tools get so advanced, where is the it's just
Yeah,
the
where's the
idea.
bar?
It's
Yeah.
just the idea. It raises the bar, but it also are you really impressed if the software's that good? Are you really impressed with the creator who did it? I mean, if all you have to do is type 3 sentences in and get a whole scene, I mean, where's the creativity in that?
Yeah, I know. That's something I've been thinking about it myself, and I've recently been saying is it's going to be harder and harder each time there's a new model, a new version coming out. It's going to be harder to stand out and to get used to of the potential. But then on the other hand, like it all depends on. Yeah, you can write a few sentences and get an amazing. You can write a prompt and get an amazing scene, but still got to look at the total picture and have a story or music video or whatever. You can
Right.
people are creating feature length movies now, and so that's somewhere where you're gonna have to make a difference. I think. Yeah,
Yeah. The stuff that Mellow Delight is previewing and the stuff that he's doing, I think he's using Kling, though. I don't even think he's using Dance, but his that stuff is, like, next level stuff, man.
yeah,
And
indeed. Yeah.
I am happy to announce, I don't know if he's mentioned this, but we are working on something. He is going to bring Dick Buttons to life in that software realm, so I can't
Oh,
wait
really?
to see what he
Awesome.
I wrote the song. I can't wait to see what he does. I think that's cool. Where do you stand on the world building? Like, I know you have yourself in some of the videos, but you don't have, like, a persona per se, do you?
I never had a persona in the past. It's only been very recently for the last 2 or 3 videos, maybe, and I've been working on some more where I just put myself or the persona, the AI persona in it. So I never had any persona per se. Per se. I just had many different directions, whether
Right.
it's be male, female vocals. So yeah,
Yeah,
um,
do you think it's that important? Like, I mean, like, there are some of us in the community like, I'm a maniac, like, that the Silly Little Me Records, I have, like, 15 artists signed to that thing, all different music types, and I think I go overboard, but, I mean, I think what you do is fantastic. You're one of my I'll be honest, I don't need to blow smoke up your ass, but I'm gonna tell you, you're in my top 5. So
thank you, thank you. Wow, I appreciate it. Yeah,
and why
thank
haven't
you.
we done a collab yet? I'm wondering that out loud now. That just popped into my head.
I was gonna say we definitely need to catch up on that. Yeah, definitely. But something has to come along. You cannot force these things.
You
You
can't.
can sometimes you can come up with a beautiful track that you think, oh, maybe that's something that Tmstry or the other way around. Just have
Right.
to grow naturally. I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I'll be honest,
definitely.
there have been times where someone reached out to me and said, let's do something together," and they send me but you're right, you have to feel it.
Yeah,
You
it
have
has to
to
be a
want it.
spark.
It has to be
Spark
spark 'cause
connection.
there have been projects that I've started with making videos for people, and I'm not gonna mention names, and it just it ne I never was eager to go back to it for whatever reason, and you wanna
Yeah.
have to stay up till 2 in the morning.
I'm sorry, I
That
wouldn't like name call anyone else, but in terms of collabs that I did in the past, the one just one that came to mind is when you're saying like you have to have a connection and then you have to have a feeling for this was the one with Nemesis. He just sent a track over to me and had a clear vision of what he had in mind, and then it just clicked for me, and I just went for it. And immediately I saw it in my eyes or in my head, and that's just how it's supposed to go. I mean, that's where the
yeah.
magic happens, I guess. Yeah.
And I'm gonna shout out to our community again because, listen, I know this is gonna come off very, like, I guess, conceited. Our group is a very talented bunch of people, man. Jai the
definitely.
Poet, Professor Jacket Music, Mellow Delight, Alice Tan. I mean, it just the list goes on, and I know
Mm,
not many people see that stuff outside of our core group of people, which is a shame
yeah,
because I think it should be seen,
yeah,
and I know
exactly.
we do Fresh Friday Festival, and, Phoenix does double duty on the Super Saturday show, so I don't know how many people outside of our group watch those things.
I think it is, and it's good that you mentioned this, but I just had the same feelings for the last couple of weeks, maybe a month. Like it feels a bit the group that we're in. It's awesome and it's very supportive and all, but it feels a bit constrictive, and there has to be something outside of that scope, you know. And in terms of what you just said or asked, is there has to be. I mean, the AI scene or whatever you want to call the community. I think it's bigger than we ever thought, and
I agree.
yeah,
I agree. But,
but it's
I checked out some, Twitch streams, there's a lot of streamers out there that, play your track, and I'll be honest, it's okay, you could sit there some guys do 6-hour streams. I mean, I don't know how those guys do that, th
yeah, yeah,
but most of the people are paying to have their track up the
played.
list, and I'm not listen, I don't wanna pay to have my track played. I just wanna get eyes on stuff that most have not seen before, and
Ex-
that was a way to do it, but I can't sit there for 5 hours.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And
Same here. Yeah,
sometimes they want you to be there, like, you could submit your track, but you have to be in the room or they won't play
yeah,
the track.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
So, have you done any of
No,
those? No.
no, most of same reasons. Like it is either too long or you have to be present. And well, since I'm in Belgium and with different time zones, the more the American ones are a bit more difficult to watch. They're during my day where it's hectic with kids and all that stuff. So yeah, but then I ask myself, like, what's the alternative to that? I mean, if you just rely on YouTube and the algorithm, that's not going to do much either. So, and you, it's. I wanted to go back on what you said about you being busy with the podcast and all that stuff. It's an idea I've been toying with myself, not doing any podcasts, but putting myself a bit more out there to get a genuine connection with the viewer, and thinking about doing some like short 3 to 4 minutes tutorials on YouTube on how I do my stuff, or like some behind the scenes stuff. Because recently I have some DMs of people message me like, "How do you do this?" or "How do you get that effect?" or and maybe that's a way to grow a bit into the space. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's just
I I
freewheeling that I'm doing, but
I think that's a great idea. I mean, I could also I know, listen, the AI Music Society has over 2,000 members in it, but you really wouldn't know that because if you look at the people who are engaged every day, it's the same 50 people that we
yeah,
all
same
know.
group. Yeah.
But, I mean, PJ has his own uh, weekly thing. If you wanna put a weekly thread in there, I'll be more than happy to do that for
Mhm,
you, and
mhm.
you could, give a name for it, you can help people, give tips and stuff,
Yeah,
and and now let's talk about the Facebook group for a little bit, and I'm not trying to get a compliment. I've been having fun running it since Dom gave it to me. It's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be.
I can imagine.
Between this and the podcast, that's where most of my time takes.
Mhm.
But I have you are you in any other AI groups? Or do you primarily hang out in Ames?
I primarily hang out in Ames, and even there, I have to confess, I'm not a huge of a social media guy in general. Like normally, I would say, and I say this will, I have to choose my words carefully, but I'm usually anti-social media. I hate it basically. But the AI Music Society Facebook group is basically the only one that I'm in, and I'm surprised by how it is run and how well organized it is and how alive it is. Even though if it is like only 30 or 40 people, it's a busy gathering. So
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people who drop and run, like, if you the sharing threads are the most busy and, there are over 100 entries in every daily sharing thread, but most people just drop their track and run and don't interact. Like I said, the core group interacts, which is good. I hope I make it a decent place to hang out and
definitely, yeah.
and engage everybody. That's what I'm trying to do anyway.
Mhm.
Music.
Uh,
Do you think we're
we,
gonna get a signed artist in the future? And I'm
But
not
there have
saying one of us, but, it could be,
yeah,
like,
who knows? But there have been a couple of news messages recently, or like beginning this year, that there were some signed artists that had like $1 million deal or something. But I haven't looked into those. I don't know. It's hard to say where this is going to go. On that specific topic, I'm a bit afraid that the market, or the streaming service, is just going to get so over. It is already basically oversaturated with the same sounds, the same generic stuff, and besides that, it gets getting harder and harder to stand out. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's a tough one. Where
it
is
is funny though because you look at Spotify, I'm gonna say it's over 50% AI, and
yeah,
that's amazing because that's a streaming service that has regular music on it, and again, I hate using the adjective regular because it
yeah.
diminishes the AI music, but it's a lot of AI music. YouTube Music is the same way,
Mm,
and people are listening. I mean, I posted last month my DistroKid royalty check last month, and again, I can't go buy a Lamborghini. It was $119, but
That's good. That's good.
when you're getting
That's,
0.004 1 cents a stream, that means people are listening, so people
exactly.
are
Yeah.
interested, I think.
Mhm. When I first started out, like last year, the majority of last year, like starting in March, or just a year ago, March, April, up until right into the summer, August, I did like an experiment. I invested some money into Facebook advertisement,
Oh,
uh, to boost my Spotify algorithm, sounds, the music, whatever. And I had a decent couple of streams, almost to 5K monthly listeners. But as soon as you stop that, investing that money, it all just drops down. Well, not to zero, but so,
so
I mean,
does that make you pause and think that that's all a scam? Like, you're just like Facebook, you're paying Facebook, and then maybe they have bots go out and listen to your stuff. You don't do you think that's the case?
no, not like that, but let's say from all the money that I invested in all those advertisements, and it went up to like 5K monthly listeners, it dropped back down to around 300. I did a very specific strategy. I know I won't go into any details now, but I made a playlist of all my tracks, and as soon as people watched the ad and clicked on it, and went further to Spotify, they could download or save the playlists of just my tracks. And it's been numbed down to like 400, 500 people who saved the playlist. So I wouldn't say it's a scam, but it's not worth the investment. I mean, you gotta keep doing it to rank up any uh, listeners, or yeah, listeners
Right.
streams. But I just let that go, and put not my focus on that anymore, because it's
How much was the
um,
Facebook ad campaign? What does that run you?
um, I did a couple. The minimum you have to do is $5 a day, but that doesn't give you a head start to even get ranked up into the playlist, or get you onto what's it, Discovery Weekly or anything. For that to happen, you need to invest at least $20 a day, more, better like $50 a day, but that ranks up fast. So during that time period in the summer, I think I invested like 2 or 3K in advertisement,
Wow.
which is a lot. But yeah, then once let's say I shut off the money drain, the faucet, it all went back to zero. And basically, when I look into it, distrocate, the check is around the same amount of you, I guess. So if you
Wow, that's
compare,
interesting. That's
if
interesting.
if you
Now
compare,
now that makes you wonder it makes you wonder how the algorithm if you were getting 5K monthly listeners, that's
at one
interesting.
point, yeah, at one point. But if you look at our case and your case and put it next to each other, I don't know if you invested anything, but you've had all around the same royalty check, but
Yeah.
you did it all organically in a much more organic way. So makes you
So
wonder what is the best option of strategy.
it does make you wonder if yeah, it does make you wonder. What is your goal with this? Like, is this a hobby for you, or do you have thoughts of like, I know some of the people in our group, Aiden, Yago being one of them. I'm pretty sure I've never talked. Well, I've read angry texts that he sent me, so I've never talked to him, but he's yelled at me about stuff. But I think he has thoughts of making it, like making it. Are you in this for the hobby, or are you in this to make a name and maybe make a living out of it?
Um, this is a good question. Of course, I've been thinking about it, but for now, I just see it as a hobby, something that I really get a kick out of, or just making something, telling a story, putting it up on YouTube with visuals, because I'm really visual lately. I have been dropping the Spotify a bit to the side. Um, I don't know if anything happens and it ranks up views and whatever. Sure, I will gladly open my arms and take it. But it's not the main focus. I don't want to put the main focus on getting views in, or getting paid for it. But yeah, I don't know. Could go either way, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Phoenix said something very insightful to me when I think it was when he was on the show. If you if your main goal is views and royalties, it takes the fun out of doing it, and then it just becomes something like a grind, and it really has to come from the heart that and make it fun, and that's why I do what I do. In the beginning, maybe I had thoughts, but I'd rather the podcast take off than anything else. I mean,
Yeah.
but
Exactly.
no,
Yeah.
and I don't have any thoughts of grandeur about this either. I think I have 20,000 listeners at this point across all platforms, but, I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah. But I have the same view now. That's a hard lesson that I learned over the couple of months. Like, I was always trying to at least, and then there's pressure. Like, at least putting out three videos to YouTube, like Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. But that takes the fun away eventually. If you feel pressure and you gotta just upload something to have there, it's better to focus on the quality and maybe numb down the uploads a bit. And yeah, definitely.
Do you look back at your older stuff and cringe? Because I know I do. When I first started, the shit that I put out, I look at it now and I go like, "Oh my god, what the fuck did I put that out for?"
Yeah, it's been a while since I took a look, and all my first stuff that's on YouTube is basically just visualizers that I paid on
Yeah.
Fiverr. Some guy from Bangladesh, I think it was. He made a great visualizer, but so it's been a while since I took a look. I don't know. Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
it's
no.
it's good to see. I mean, I'm not I would say ashamed of it. Like, it shows how you progress. It shows your progression, and how it goes, and it keeps it motivating itself. So yeah.
Yeah, not now we're gonna get into the topic of Fresh Friday Festival only because, anytime I talk to anybody in the AI world, I wanna get their views on censorship and gatekeeping. I mean, I'm not gonna go into the thing ad nauseum and rehash all this stuff, but where do you stand on the gatekeeping and the censorship? Because I think music is freedom of expression, and I'll quote Phoenix again. Oh, I'm gonna have to pay Phoenix for all the times I'm quoting him, but, he says, "If it's okay with YouTube standards, it should be okay with everybody else." And that's his thought, but where do you stand on that?
I think more or less the same vision. I mean, there are certain boundaries. I wouldn't go into any details about a specific video or whatnot, but as long as it's okay for the algorithm or for the bots to pick it up, why not? I mean, I'm also a person who is very, how do you say the correct word? Anti censorship, or
Mhm.
so. I'm more or less on the same view with most of you guys. So yeah, specifically about what happened at Fresh Friday Festival. I have seen the video and I've talked to both sides of it. Well, I don't know what, I'm sort of in between it. And to me personally, I see the fun of it, or the gist, the humor of the video of it, and nothing wrong with it. So it's a difficult discussion. But yeah, to answer the question, I'm all against the censorship. Yeah.
Everybody has their own opinion, and everybody has their own thought process, and again, Phoenix, what a smart man, I'm quoting him again. If you own a restaurant their owner can decide what kind of food they make, what kind of music they play, what color the tablecloths are. So, so whoever's running Fresh Friday Festival, and I love Bobby to death. I mean, Bobby has been there for me, helped me. We've done, I've done work for him. He's a great guy. And again, in reference to that specific video that I did with Alice Tanner, it was tongue in cheek about women empowerment. It wasn't the opposite. And, everybody's entitled to look at something the way they see it. But, I had to stand by how I felt. I didn't think that decision was right, and I have not been back to Fresh Friday since. And it's not anything against Bobby. It's just I had to stand by my principles, and that's where I am. So, if I do anything, I'm doing it on, Super Saturday Show.
Well, of course, that's totally understandable. And I took the same road, more or less, with the obvious exception last Friday with the collab that I did with Ash Johansson. Um, the way I would see it, like my stuff is usually a little bit on the harder side, the more aggressive hip hop and
Right.
rap side of stuff. So I would more or less reserve that or push that on Super Saturday, and the more mellow stuff for Fresh Fried Festival or any collab. There's still a collaboration in progress. It's taking a long time, but it's eventually going to get there with Bobby, and so I'm pretty sure that one will any time here on Fresh Friday Festival. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something nice about Bobby too, not because I have to, because I want to. He's one of the most talented people that I've come across in our world. I mean,
Definitely.
the way he thinks, the creative juices that come out of that guy. I know that sounded weird, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I've always
exactly.
enjoyed I've always enjoyed doing stuff for him and with him, and I hope to do something again with him in the future. He's a great guy. Anytime I needed something and I reached out, he was there,
It's
and I
always
think
there.
that's
It's
important.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
You-
important in our community.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
did you ever collab with somebody that you were excited in the beginning and you thought it was gonna be and you don't have to mention names, just the gist of it. You thought it was gonna be a great idea, and then once you got started, you were like, "Oh, man, this is not working out."
No, never had it.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, I think all the collaboration I can still count on my one hand. I'm not going to count them now, but I think I can still on one hand. And no, I never had it. They were all really good and unique in different ways. I also like the process behind it. Sometimes, like I did a collaboration. It's been a while with Aiden Yagu, and that was a different process. He added some verses. I added some verses. I did most of the visuals. It was a going back and forth type of stuff. Then there were collaborations where it was like really easy, like person A did the song and person B did the visuals, and vice versa. I did one with well, two actually with audio iterations, which was really great. He did a song, I did a song, he did the visuals on my song, I did the visuals on his song. So it's been really great, all of them. Yeah, and I look forward to doing more of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I always like a collaboration. I want you it's funny. We have a lot of female personas in our community, but
yeah,
they're mostly men, which I think is
yeah,
funny. For the longest time, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I was doing that first collab with Bunny, the noir crime thing. For the first 2 weeks we were working, I thought it was a woman. I thought she was a woman. He was a woman.
yeah,
And then at
yeah,
some point, somebody called him he, and I'm like, I said to Pete, "Wait a minute, that Bunny's not a woman?" He goes, "No." So I thought I think
yeah.
that's
That's
interesting.
funny.
I think
The
that's
same. The same goes with me. The first one, like I said before, the first one I did was with Bunny, and that was like a long time ago. And in the beginning, was like, are they actually like two friends or two sisters? And then I was like trying to gist a little bit, but then eventually I found out, yeah, that most of them are all just 40 or 50 plus
yeah, you
dudes.
could
Yeah,
say it is a middle-aged sausage fest, Tmstry, you could say.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
gonna say nice stuff about Bunny too, because those 2 crime collabs that we did, I mean, that was a perfect storm of 2 people who shared a vision, and I did the opening scene and she ran with see?
Yeah.
and he ran with the other part, and we're waiting to work on the 3rd installment, the 1980s Miami Vice looking thing. So,
Awesome.
yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. So where do you see yourself in this in 5 years, Tmstry? What do you think?
Oh, yeah, it's a good question again. Like just before, I always see the future. Probably doing the same stuff. Just grinding on YouTube and putting out what I try quality videos. Like maybe going into a bit more of showing myself in terms of like I said before, like doing some YouTube tutorials eventually, or putting up. I even had people DM me that they would be gladly paying some sort of, how do you call it, a mentor class or a master class or something. So who knows? Maybe in 5 years I'm doing classes about video editing.
See,
Because
Dom was very forward thinking when before he passed this to me and we had the Ames website, there was a portion of that website that people offering services and for money, and it never got anywhere 'cause, Dom stepped away and handed over to me, and then when he went away, the website went away, so that's my next step is to get that website back, and it
mm,
was almost like a marketplace. If you needed help with a video, I would offer my services or you would offer your services, and that was supposed to work that way. I wanna see if that would take off.
yeah,
Again, I don't know. Is it just people in our community, or is that gonna get anywhere to other people?
it sounds like a good concept. I mean, it's been something I've been thinking about myself. I've been putting myself or registering myself on the Fiverr website. Not that I have any clients coming in yet, but I'm trying to make at least a portfolio of the stuff that I have out there. Yeah, sounds like a good direction to go. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I now let me I'm gonna step away from the AI music for a second and just strictly talk AI because I think this is a good topic that I always ask every creator. How about AI in everyday life? Do you think it's helpful, or do you think in the near future we're gonna have a Terminator type event where it becomes sentient and realizes it doesn't need the human race?
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, just very recently, like last week, and Aiden Yagu really pushed me into that. Is I started vibe coding, which is like the new hype trend now, but it's really useful in terms of making your own website. Like anyone can do it now by just speaking to an LLM and the thing codes itself. Um, I see it definitely being very helpful in daily lives. Even with the vibe coding thing, I just started that last week, and at my job, in like 1 week, I made a tool that helped me doing administrative paperwork that I used to do in like 2 hours, and I can do it in like 5 or 10 minutes. And I know there's like a debate about it. I can easily say it on a public thing. I'm not afraid my bosses are going to replace me by AI or anything soon, so I'm pretty safe on that. But it's very useful. It's wild. I mean, yeah,
That is a fear though, Timistry, because last week or 2 weeks ago, Marvel laid off 3,000 illustrators and computer artists, and that's because of the shit that could be generated with AI now. They don't need those creative people anymore. And listen,
yeah,
this is my argument that I give to everybody, and I know people who watch this podcast are probably tired of me saying this, but in back when horse and buggy was the only mode of transportation and the automobile was invented, unfortunately, the horse and buggy lost their job. I mean, technology marches on. You
mm.
can't stop it, and that's just the way you have to learn how to adapt. And, Gen Z, I don't know, how old are you? Can I ask?
I'm 43 now.
Okay, alright,
43.
I'm 60, I could be your younger dad, but, way younger. Um,
Yeah,
Gen Z has a big problem with AI because they grew up with technology, and I don't think they can really do much because they never really had to do it on their own.
yeah,
And that
exactly.
next generation, Generation Alpha, who had cell phones when they were 3 and computers, they're gonna be in a big disadvantage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm a believer. I think at some point, AI is gonna look around and go, "We don't need these motherfuckers."
It's a sensitive discussion, but just earlier what you said about referencing about what was it, Marvel that laid off like
Marvel, yeah.
bunch of people. That's specifically then the graphic or the design portion or side of AI, um, which is a huge issue. But then if you look back at like, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, as soon as those digital cameras came along and Photoshop, a lot of the analog photographers were
Yeah.
also afraid and scared of what it could do with future, but they just had to adapt. So I mean, the Marvel side of thing where people get laid off, that's horrible, of course, and that's another thing. But I just think you're gonna have to adapt and change your tool sets. I believe
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but my grandfather always said to me, "If you don't adapt to change, you'll never make it." And if you're gonna stick in the mud and not move and change with stuff, you're just gonna be left behind, and that's just the fact of it. I mean,
I'm
I hate to
even
sound cruel about it, but
yeah, exactly.
go
I'm even
there
more
you go.
scared of the people. How do you call them? The webmasters, the people who are actually for a job for a living coding websites with the whole vibe coding thing. Like it's so easy now. Like anyone would do a little prompting, make websites for businesses around the corner and selling
Mhm.
them. That's another part of it. That's at this point is very disruptive. So I don't know how that is going to go.
I mean, back in the day, well, because I'm older, I had a website construction business, and that's before point and click. Like, when you wanted to put a box on the thing, you had to write a line 2, 4 lines of code to get that box. Now, like you just said, you can go to Wix, and it's just point and click.
Yeah,
There's no need for coding,
mm,
and like you said, I've never played with vibe coding, but I'm imagining you just, like, write a sentence what you want on the page, and it puts it there. So it's yeah, so
exactly. It's that easy. Yeah, that's
why wouldn't
wild.
you use that? I don't understand, like, the trepidation from Gen Z, that they don't wanna use AI because it doesn't make sense to me. If something can make your life like, you have a car instead
Mhm.
of riding your bike somewhere. I mean,
Mhm.
if you like technology, you gotta like it across the board, and AI is not all bad. In the medical field, it could read scans better than a human can,
Yeah,
it can swap
exactly.
I mean, so listen, you have to either get on board or be left behind. That's just I don't know,
Yeah.
that's just my thought.
We just had a funny discussion yesterday in our little group chat. I don't know if you've witnessed it about AI being used in the medical world. Like, how comfortable would you be if you had a surgery done by a robot instead of like an actual surgeon? You know?
100%,
Yeah.
100% confident. Because I would imagine that that AI robot wouldn't leave a sponge in my body like some other, stories that I've heard.
Feels,
So,
yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah.
what type of music do you listen to?
If you look at my YouTube, if you look at my music on YouTube and on Spotify, it's all over the place. It's a bit left and right, different genres, and that's basically who I am. I am so open to a lot of different genres, from extreme stuff like hard style, or even like and that's thanks to the community and to AI. I'm into like new metal or death metal or whatever it's called, all the subgenres, all the way to classical music or in the 80s, or um, stuff like the oldies, the disco stuff. It's so wide, my musical tastes.
Yeah,
It's
me
always
too.
a real challenge when I get into my car, which is when I drive to work, is the place where I can most relax and listen to music. It's always a big challenge of what playlist I should put on, what music or what album to listen to. It's yeah, it's
Is
very
music a big
difficult.
part of your life? Is it involved in almost every part of your day at some point, listening or
Definitely, definitely. Even when I was a child, and that's how I grew up with my parents, there was always, even when I was little and growing up, always was there a radio, just a radio playing somewhere in the kitchen with a radio station on, day in, day out. Well, not at night, of course, but um, and that's even now up until this day. If I go downstairs in the kitchen, grab a drink, the radio's playing. Always, always. Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up my mom was a big Elvis fan, so at an early age, I was exposed to Elvis, Sinatra, all that stuff, and I even got to see Elvis live when I was 8 years old, so,
Oh wow.
um yeah, no, and to this day, Tmstry, you're not gonna believe this, but to this day, that's the best concert I've ever seen, and I know I was only 8, and I probably really didn't understand what I was seeing, but I still have vivid memories of it.
Oh, that
Madison
sounds
Square
amazing.
Garden, 1972.
Oh, that sounds.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Eh,
my greatest biggest concert experience, just to pick on that, is it's been like 12 or 15 years ago. In Brussels, was watching Jay-Z, one of the great ones that I look up to, Jay-Z and Kanye West back then in his good old days.
Yes, the good old
That was
days,
an
yes.
amazing concert. Yeah, yeah, good
Do you
times.
do many concerts now? I find myself and again, you're younger than me, but, like, other than when Kiss was still playing, because 'cause I'm a big Kiss fan too, I would go see Kiss, but I the whole concert scene and at the age of 60 annoys me at this point. It just I don't know, too many people, no one paying attention to the show. It just bothers me.
Me too. Yeah, totally. I cannot go into to any concert anymore. Everyone's holding their phones up. It's really annoying
Yeah,
me. There's
makes no sense. Again, I sound like the cranky old man, "Get off my lawn," but,
no, not not at all. And there's a small slight shift going on in some local concert halls here in Belgium. Whenever there's a huge concert of, I don't know, big pop star, they even won't allow any cell phones anymore. You have to put them in a locker or put them away somewhere, and that's really a good initiative to leave the cell
yeah,
phones out, because it's so annoying. It's horrible. It's just, you just got to be there for the experience, for the fun, and okay, just maybe take a selfie and that's it. But just enjoy it. I mean,
yeah, I'm with you
yeah,
on that. I mean, I think that's the problem with the younger generation too. I even got into a fight the last Kiss concert I was at, right before they retired, I was next to a guy, his phone he recorded the whole fucking show, and at midway through, I looked at him, I go, "Dude, you're staring at your phone. You paid all this money for this ticket, and you're staring at a 10-inch screen."
it's unbelievable. Yeah, yeah,
And he looked at me like I was the crazy one.
yeah. That's unbelievable. Yeah, it's crazy.
So in the next 5 to 10 years, do you think and, this I think this is a cool question, do you think we'll all still be on AIMS doing stuff? Or do you think we all fall off and I mean, we've been at it almost 2 years now, right? Give
Yeah,
or
more
take?
or less.
Right. No, I said, do you think we're all still gonna be here, or do you think we're all gonna lose the
Interest.
mojo to do it? Yeah.
There's definitely going to be a portion of people that are just going to fall off or lose interest, like you say. But if you're really passionate about it and you see it as, like you asked earlier, do you see it as a hobby or do you see it going somewhere? If you're really passionate about it, you're still going to be there in 2 years or 5 years. If you're willing to adapt to the timeline, because all the tools that we're using, Suno and what is it, CDance or whatever, it's all going uh, incredibly fast, moving forward. And what's the term? I don't know. It's evolving. So
Yeah.
I think the ones who stick through and who are really passionate about it will still be there. Yeah.
Yeah. My fear is, though, that it gets so easy because of the technology. It'll take 2 seconds, you have lyrics, put it in, boom, it's exactly what you want, and it'll take 5 minutes to generate a studio quality video. Now,
You
for
got that
me,
from
if that's the case, I don't know how much fun that there is in that.
You got that from Phoenix too, right? Because you were sounding like Phoenix for a moment. Because I hearing him saying the same thing. But
I didn't say cunt,
that's,
though, I didn't use the C word, so
yeah, yeah,
I'll reserve that for him.
yeah. Yeah, I understand the question and the thought process. But then again, like I said earlier, it is going to be that easy to, like, any kid can do it with a few prompts. But then you got to piece it all together and make a good story out of it. And I think that
Yeah, I
is
think that
where.
yeah, I'm with you on that, that's where the art is. Like, I also think and I don't know if you agree with me, I think using stock footage is harder and more creative than using the AI uh, software to create your visuals because you have to hunt out those stock footage, you have to time it, you have to piece it together. Because I used to do that too before I got into doing VO and all the other stuff. I
Mhm.
think that's a big that is a harder and I think a more creative art than writing a prompt for a video.
It is somehow, yeah, definitely. It's like you said, you have to eh, the visual story that you're telling, it has to coexist or work together with the music. It has to be one authentic piece, and it is difficult to piece everything together and find the right images. Yeah, definitely.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you enjoy doing this right now as opposed to when you first started? Like, was there a learning curve for you that made it almost not fun? And do you feel you're at a spot now where it's more enjoyable than when you started?
It is like you say. There was a learning curve, and at this point now, where I am today, it's definitely on a scale to 10. It's definitely a 10 plus or whatever. Um, but even in the early days, when there was a learning curve and I had to figure everything out, I still had a lot of fun. It's all the tools around us and that we're using. It's all evolving in a rapid pace. And I think that I believe that that's what's gonna keep making it fun even in the future. It's always so adapting. New tools are coming around. Just recently, I've started like a month ago with AI video generation like Cdance, and still learning again and adapting. And the fun just never goes away with stuff like that. I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're right. It's always been fun for me. It still is fun for me, although I don't have much time for it anymore. But when I sit down to do something, I'm jazzed about it,
Yeah.
and I think that fuels the creativity as well.
That's the most beautiful part of it is the fuel and the spark that it gives you, and then of course afterwards the how do you say it, the when you get the praise and the comments and all that stuff. I mean that's why we do it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, I don't wanna say that I don't listen to the praise, but you're right. When I was on Fresh Friday, when my stuff goes on Super Saturday, or even Zanzibar show, the comments, yeah, I like to see them. I think it's cool because you know, you labored over this thing. You have ideas of what people are, "Oh, I hope they like this." So you want the affirmation after it gets released. I get it. It's not my drive. Like, I'm not doing it to get comments. I'm doing
Mhm.
it for me. I don't know if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, of course, totally. Yeah, totally. At first, in the beginning, I was like, and that's probably because of my insecurities and that stuff. It Seeing or hearing or reading comments was difficult. Like, oh, I'm not worthy of that much praise or love or whatever, you know. Um, but then it fuels more and it drives more. At least you're making someone happy or laughing with stuff that you make, or crying for that matter, you know. So it's a two-way street, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I find myself when I am creating a video in my head, like, what would Bobby think of that? What would Phoenix think of that?
Yeah.
What would Tim, who does Alice Tanner, what would he do here? What would Mello do here? And and it's not second guessing myself, but I'm leaning on the masters in our field
Yeah.
to try to up my game, so to speak. What do you think is your finest piece of work to date? And I'll put a link on the screen so
Um,
you can find it.
well, this might sound a bit cliche or cheesy, but it's always my latest piece, I believe. I always put in a lot of effort or work. Like a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, I made the video for Jay, Hate Me, Jay the Poet.
Mhm.
Up until then, that was my finest piece, so to say. But now, a month later, I created the video I did with Ash Johansson. I would say that one maybe up to par with the Minecraft video. It's always the latest one. I'm always putting in something a little extra effort in, which is hard. I know because it adds a little bit of pressure to
Right.
uh, to create the next one. But I would say the last one with Ash Johansson. Then yeah,
I know,
the
it's like
one
asking you to
little
pick your favorite kid, I know. I mean,
yeah.
you don't wanna do that. Well, listen, Timothy, I wanna thank you for sitting down with me, great pleasure. I always enjoy seeing what you do, and when you have a spot in your, busy schedule, let's see if you and I could come up with something,
Definitely,
and, we'll get that done.
definitely.
Everybody
Pleasure.
listen, go check out, Tmstry's YouTube channel. I'll put the link up on the screen. Check it out, like, subscribe, check out all the stuff, listen, comment, and do all that stuff, and thank you again, sir, for sitting with me.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the nice words.
It's here now. Thanks again, Tmstry. You have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. See you later. Bye.